Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. Hello, folks. Welcome to another video on the Microsoft Sim. Yes, the old man is a little chuffed this morning. Our boys have done us proud over there in the old World Cup, beating those pesky Danes 1-0 this morning, thanks to a lovely strike from Matthew Leckie, it was, who put the ball through the legs of a Dane. And don't we all enjoy putting something through the legs of a Dane occasionally? And we're into the final 16. Yes, make no mistake, folks, this is still a flight simulation channel, but let an old man enjoy a rare Aussie victory in the old football caper, the beautiful game as they call it. We're through to the round of 16. No one expected that. Bunch of, well, virtual nobodies outside of Australia have got through to meet the best in the world. Our run could come to an end pretty soon, this weekend to be exact, but two beautiful victories against Tunisia the other night. That was fantastic. And then early hours of the morn here down under, we've overcome Denmark to get us through. It's been a great tournament, in my opinion, my humble opinion. I'm not an aficionado of football, but I've very much enjoyed this tournament so far. A few upsets, and it's always a good thing. A few disappointments, it must be said, as well. I don't mind that, because Australia hasn't been the disappointment, have they? You've done us proud, boys, and keep on going, is all I can say. Really long introduction, folks. The aircraft on your screen. That's the subject of today's video. I will do some flying in amongst a little bit of, well, allow me a little bit of gloating. I'm old. This may be my last World Cup. Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, and the old fella here. It could be the end of the road for us all. But anyway, first impressions video of the aircraft on your screen. Yes, I've still got the YOLO thing going. I am that lazy. Not flying that often, to be honest, and yeah, not putting that much preparation. That hasn't changed. Underneath the cover, and I've got to say, I'm loving this cover. Look at the ripples, the creases, the attention. Look at that. Like, that's impressive. I know I'm easily pleased. That's impressive to me. This aircraft, underneath that cover, is the newly released, hot off the press, Cirrus Vision Jet from the team over there at FlightFX. You can pick this one up in the marketplace for $25 US. I hope you have more luck picking it up than I did. I've got real issues purchasing content from the marketplace. This is the second time now I've had to submit a ticket in the old Zendesk and get the kind people in customer service over there to help me out and manually enable this aircraft to be in my hangar. My money's been taken, yet the aircraft is not available. I get an error message. There are a number of error messages that I've seen reported. Still not sure what I'm doing wrong. I've got a couple of responses that may help me in future, but I'm kind of reluctant to go back to the marketplace. I wish this aircraft was available elsewhere. I'm sure I'm not alone in that. Jude's walking around. Jude's looking a little bit, and she's walking through the wing. Holy crap, Jude, you've developed supernatural powers. Been a while since I've seen you, Jude, and you've got a job, I see. That's nice. You're not just mooching off the old man anymore. I'm not sure what your job is, other than to just look hot. But that's always been your job, isn't it? Hey, from the back. I don't often get to see you from the rear, Jude. Not with clothes on, anyway. There you go, all right. Anyway, folks, first impressions video featuring this aircraft. Genuine first impressions. Let me jump inside. Yes, the cover is on. I have not flown this aircraft. I have literally just got it into my hangar and fired up a flight, and here we are. That's what you're going to see. Got a little bit of a leg stretcher, a couple of 100 miles in this aircraft this morning as a way of familiarising myself. I've watched one video on the tube about this aircraft, so I don't know a lot about it. We're going to find out together. So forgive the unscheduled pause there, folks, but as you may have heard, a couple of the dogs started to get a little bit nervous. And, yes, it doesn't make for particularly good commentary when they're in full voice. So I've given them their opportunity to get it out of their system, and now it's the old fella's turn to rabbit on about some aviation shit. I've got to say, first impressions of the modelling, the visuals in this aircraft, first impression is very positive. It looks the business. We'll get some stuff fired up even here soon enough. But look, looks fantastic, doesn't it? I'm sure others will do it much more justice than what I will. I'm not going to spend the whole time in this video waxing lyrical about every bit of... it's just bloody good. This one's got the old... what do you call it? The old parachute system. Hey? Built into it. Interesting aircraft, hey? Interesting looking aircraft. Let me jump back outside. I will get that cover off eventually, don't worry. Security's on the way. They're getting a bit nervous. Right, why is this woman walking through a wing? Why is this bloke talking to a screen? And look, there's a bloody F-18 that's pulled up next to me. Ho ho ho! Hello, they're very concerned here. I will explain where we are in a minute, folks. We're in Australia, I can give you that much. Of course we're in Australia. Australian pride this morning. The whole country, the whole bloody world feels like they're Australian this morning. Hey? Maybe a little bit of a stretch. Back inside. It's going to be one of those videos, folks. I make no apologies. You visit this channel, I'm seeing there's a phone down here. I wonder if that does something. I don't know. But the attention to detail is highly commendable. The old stick is what you use to control it. Yeah, look, I'm just having a bit of a squiz. A seat rest, head rest even. That'd be the seat. That'd be the head. Yeah. Anyway, folks, I'll get us fired up, and I think we do that down here now. I'll set up a view, and we've got some switches down here, right? So I'm guessing if I turn on some batteries like that. So the G3000 is the kit that you get. There we go. And we've got another display over there. And we've got some... Oh, look at this. All independent stuff down here. The autopilot's down here. Flaps. Throttle. Fuel control. It's a very simple aeroplane. Single pilot. Very light jet. Oh, we've got some stuff happening. That's very nice. Yeah, the G3000, I am a fan, having flown it quite a lot in the TBM. Yeah, what else can we do? We'll come back to that. We've got a flight plan plugged in. That's the MFD. Navcom over there. That's the initialization. PFD settings are here. Okay, we might do some configuration just to get the G3000 set up as I prefer it to be. I'll do that off camera. What I might do now, though, is give you a quick look at our flight plan for today. I know that some people do like to know where we are exactly with codes, etc. So let me fire up little nav map, and we'll do that. Then we'll jump back on board and go for a fly. Alright, here's our route in little nav map. Pretty simple. Just to give you a little bit of orientation, we're at sort of the bottom left of this fine country of Australia on this fine morning when we're all celebrating. I tell you what we need on these sort of days. We need a Prime Minister like Hawkey. Remember when we won the America's Cup? There'll be people listening to this who have no idea what I'm talking about, but Australians of a certain vintage will know. That day in 1983, and he said something like, you know, any boss who doesn't give people the day off or something like that is a bum. Well, yes. Can I just echo those words? Anyone who doesn't allow people a little bit of celebration today, they're a bum. Anyway, folks, we begin our journey in Albany, down here on the south coast of Western Australia, and we're going to end up also on the south coast, just a little bit more to the east, in a place called Esperance. We're flying via Ravensthorpe, 218 of the best nautical miles you'll find in this part of the world, folks. Beautiful flying down here, particularly at low level. That must be really impressive. I've never done it. I'm imagining it's beautiful. I have flown out of Perth and in and around Perth, but I never got this far south in the old IRL caper. But that's our journey today, folks. 218 nautical miles. Little nav map saying we're going to take just under an hour to do that. This aircraft's not that fast. It is a jet, but it's not exactly a high performance jet. It's a VLJ, very light jet. But it gets along okay. Let's go flying. Alright, back in the sim. I see Jude next to me. I also see Jude still doing her walking through the wing caper. So she's manifested. She's cloned herself. That's impressive. That is Jude, right? Jude? Yeah, she's ignoring me. That's so Jude. Oh, mate, look at this. Ruggedly handsome Western Australian. How are you, champ? Hey? You go right with the Mo. You got the Mo on from Movember. Movember's just finished, though, mate. You can, you know, get the old razor out, give yourself a trim, pal. And I reckon there's a security issue here. That photo doesn't resemble your face. Maybe that's why the RAF have been called in. They know there's a rogue employee somewhere. They're trying to track him down. The guy with the Mo, fellas. You didn't have to send the FA-18 either. I mean, that's a bit of overkill. Oh, it's impressive looking aircraft, though. Folks, we are at a custom freeware rendition of Albany Airport. There'll be a link to that in the description. You see the little terminal over there in the distance. Let me try and zoom there. Amazing Albany, I'm sure it is. If you're hail from this part of the world, give us a shout in the comments. Always good to hear from people, hear from locals. And yeah, so we're going to go do some flying. Jump back inside. I've got some power set up to things. Screens are on and all that sort of stuff. It's very nice. What I would suggest is that you go to another channel, though, if you want to get a full breakdown of how all of this stuff sort of works. I readily admit that I don't know what I'm doing. There's stuff you can do. I'll give a man that much. There's settings and all that sort of stuff. Flight plan I like to have here. The PFD settings here, and then you've got your navcom over here for me personally. The autopilot panel is down here. I'd love when the autopilot panel's up here. However, I'm not complaining about the layout. Have a look at the visibility. Have a look at that. Isn't that fantastic? Hey? Wonderful visibility in this aircraft in order to really helps us to enjoy what this sim offers. Love it. Yeah, great. Look, without going flying, price-wise, value-wise, I think it's pretty good. It's, yeah, difficult to say. I could go flying and absolutely hate it. But $25 US, which is whatever, 175 Australian, not quite, but not far off. That gets an old fella interested. You price this at $50 or even $30-something. An old fella's not that interested. He's going to go back to watching the next World Cup game. But at 25 US, and then what the equivalent on the cross rate is, for quality, and look, it's a unique aeroplane. It's quirky. I like it. I like the way it looks. But admittedly I'm weird. I like it. It'll have a place in my what do you call it? Rotation here in the sim. Anyway, I'm going to get the engine started. There will be some flying. I'm absolutely committed to doing some flying in this video. My apologies for those of you, and I know there are some people who accuse me of wasting their time by taking too long to get to the flying bit. Well, my apologies. But that's how it is on this channel. Let's go flying, folks. Alright, so engine start has been achieved. This is a fantastic sounding aeroplane. Really easy to start the engine. Strongly recommend that you read the documentation. It's a good thing that I edited out. Well, I didn't edit out. I had to film it in order to edit it out. I never filmed it. But the engine starter's down here on the left-hand side, folks. You can move the stick, the run switch, and the engine start-stop button is down here. Figured that out. I think I've got the displays right for my preference anyway. Checklists are really useful. We could run the before taxi checklist in there. You can scroll through the checklist via this little rotary knob down here. If I can zoom in a tad, this one here. So, for example, if I was actually following the checklist, I could press this and it would show that it has been completed, and you can scroll sort of through different items, down and up through there. It's a really nice feature. We'll go back to full. Flight plan at the bottom, everything else is good up here. Although I normally have a different display. What am I trying to do there? That's the weather selection. Yeah, weather radar settings. I'm going to put it on. Probably shouldn't put it on at this point in the flight, but that's okay. Go back home. And now I get a bit lost because I don't actually want it on. What is this? Sorry, folks. Actually, I don't want it on. Just give me the map is what I want. But there's something. I want a different display on the map. What have I got to do? Map settings. Terrain relative. Track up. Map sync all. Map detail. Terrain is relative. What if I go with absolute? That's what I want. Absolute. All the other stuff. So many different options to configure this to your liking. Comes with Navigraph integration as well. I'm not going to be using that because I don't use Navigraph. Yeah, lots of stuff that you can fiddle with during the flight. Speaking of fiddling with, I don't get the pleasure of seeing her. She's out there. She's beyond my reach. She's just waiting. She's like, Jesus Christ, mate, hurry up and get the hell out of here. Now, which way we got to go to find a runway? Right, there's one there. We might take a short taxi onto whatever that is, hey? Why don't we do that? Parking brake off. Now, I'm just using my standard sort of controller settings. Just stay outside for a little bit. Listen to it. There we go. We'll cut through old mate. Give him a trim of his mustache while we're there. Here we go. Have a look at this visibility. Loving it. How do I get rid of these headsets? I wonder. He wonders. Can I click something down here? No. That clicks that on. No. It's just a little bit annoying. I want to utilise the whole space here in the window. Let's go on the brakes a tad. How do I get rid of that? That removes the stick. Can I click something down here to get rid of this? 0 on the hobs. Genuine first impressions. How do I get rid of it? I wonder if there's a setting. Probably is. I've just got to find it. Is it in the VAMs? Bose headphones. Does that get rid of it? Ah, perfect. Active noise reduction. Oh shit, she gets real quiet. That's what my world sounds like with my poor hearing. Holy crap! No, I don't want that. Anyway, they got rid of the headphones. Apologies, folks. I am genuine first impressions. Don't know what I'm doing. Making it up as I go along. A bit like life itself, eh? We'll find our way out onto this runway. Probably going to need to set some flap. 50% flap for takeoff, I'm guessing. Easy enough to taxi, and the visibility, I'm just loving that. That's worth the price of admission alone. Now your seating position, you're kind of offset to the left from the centre of the display, but that's okay. I won't worry too much about lighting, and clearly I'm not following checklists here. Looks like we've got a fairly light breeze. A headwind component of some sort here on runway, what looks like runway 14 here in Albany. What do the locals call Albany? And it's at this point when a reviewer to the video says, it's Albany, mate. Anyway, heading bug can be synced, and we've got something happening here with our toga. Is that what the flight director's telling me? Yeah, okay, so heading, okay, that's coming back. That's good. We've got 150 knots plugged in just because I picked that out of my ass. Flaps are set to 50. We'll go altitude reporting on the transponder. Lights are probably pretty good, I think. I don't need to worry about any of that. I think we're pretty much right to go. Rotate, I think around about 90-ish, something like that. What we'll do is basically head runway heading, and then we'll take up and make a left turn onto our track. Let's do it. Oh, sounds good. Away we go. Airspeed coming alive. Tracking pretty straight. Light breeze. It's through 70 knots. Accelerates well. Going up through 90. There we go. We can try and rotate about here. Yep, up we go. 5 degrees. Gear coming up. Let's continue to accelerate. That sight picture is weird, but in a good way. Gear stowed. We'll take flaps up nice and early as well. No major change in pitch there. We'll just retrim. Runway heading for a little bit, accelerate through to about 150. Alright, at 500 feet we can make the left turn. We'll take up our track, or intercept our track towards Ravensthorpe. Yeah, handles pretty well. No major vices evident here this morning. Light breeze. I don't know why the wind vector's not showing on the display. Takeoff thrust. Probably an indication that I need to do something about the thrust. Bring it back towards the green range, perhaps. There we go. Nice. Safely away, folks. In the YOLO jet. No worries. Leaving the good residents of Albany behind. Folks, I'll see you during the cruise. Have another little chat. Probably about something flight simulation related, but potentially not. We'll see you in a bit. We keep climbing, folks. It's a slow old trip up here to flight level 250. Beautiful part of the world, the southern West Australian coast. We're to the east of Albany, en route Ravensthorpe, passing through, just up through flight level 180 at this time. 160 indicated. We're sort of tazzing 215, ground speed of 223, so we've got a slight tailwind at this moment. So I've set up the displays, I think, kind of how I prefer them, based on what I do in the TBM. I think this is a different display. Obviously it's a different aircraft, and the developers built some other stuff in. What I understand is that when the new G3000 from Working Title is released, this aircraft will get the new G3000. Great work that they're doing. Really looking forward to what they're doing around the avionics kit and what they're doing to the CJ4. That'll get me back in that aircraft, actually. Not that it isn't a quality aircraft, not that I don't enjoy it now, but they're going to make it even better. Yeah, really impressive work what they've been sharing with the community. This aircraft is, how can I describe it succinctly? Succinctly, that'll be something new for me. Hard enough just to say that bloody word. Yeah, it has its place. It's a niche aircraft, I think. You know, you're looking for a high performance jet, this ain't it. You're looking for a jet to sort of tool around and enjoy the scenery, and have a look at this again. I will come back to this numerous times. Just fantastic visibility. You're not going to go a long way in this aircraft, and you're not going to be able to carry a whole lot of people, but you can carry a few. There's the config. We don't have visible passengers as far as I can tell. There may be a setting for that I'm not aware of. Let me know in the comments. In fact, I'm sure there's a lot of things that I'm not aware of here. This is the risk with firing up the sim. I'm actually not doing much flying lately, and therefore not many videos. Fire up the sim, brand new aircraft, and you know, you're basically seeing it raw, so to speak. Good thing you're not seeing it actually raw, not seeing me raw. That would be cruel and unusual punishment. But yeah, it's that sort of video. I know there are others out there who do, and I admire them. I just can't be them. Others who do a lot of preparation, a lot of study, read the manuals, all that sort of stuff. I do enjoy the manual, or manuals in general. I enjoy, what I appreciate about them is the amount of work that certain developers put into them. I might have a look at the manual for this aircraft when we get into the cruise. I'll share that with you. Right, so the manual is on your screen. Found it at the FlightFX website. First impressions of the manual, bloody impressive. Really well designed. Really, you can see the investment of effort that's gone into it. It's okay to play favourites. Absolutely it is. So I should just mention here that at the moment, and this is like day after release, there's 3 liveries available for the aircraft. I'm sure that our talented livery painters will get busy and produce more in due course. But there are 3 that come with it. From FlightFX, thank you. Fantastic. The beta team for giving full credit to everyone involved, and it takes a village, doesn't it? Great. I just love how that's called out. That's really nicely done. Flight crew. Hey, we've got photos of people. Wow, they've given themselves pretty illustrious titles. We've got a lot of chiefs there. Hey? Just having fun, guys. Total respect for you. Look at that. Takes a team of people to put together an aircraft of this quality. Yeah, design-wise, this is nice. Yeah, living, breathing document, all that sort of stuff. Can I sort of reduce the zoom here just to give you a better feel for every page? Interesting facts, operational range. Yeah, so it gets close to 1,000 nautical miles. Well, it'll take you a fair way. Different interiors. I think I've got the family one set up, the 7-seat combo. So that's nice, the configuration options. Dynamic registration systems, all the specs that you need. The flight deck at a glance, all the stuff, the working title, yeah, all that sort of stuff. I won't go through every page. I just wanted to call out that there's a manual available and that it's really well done. That's impressive, guys. I don't need to scroll through the whole thing to know that that's a quality bit of kit. Worth investing. Worth firing up a flight in this aircraft of sufficient duration that will allow you to enjoy the manual. How often do we say that in flight simulation? Anyway, folks, we're settled in the cruise, flight level 250. We're getting along the ground at 286 knots, not too far now from about 9 minutes out from Ravensthorpe. Then we're guessing that I'm going to begin a descent pretty soon after to get us down into Esperance, where we will hopefully make a somewhat respectable approach and landing. We'll see you for that bit. The benefit of reading the manual. I've now discovered this aircraft has even more features than I realised. So there's an aircraft systems element, and their pages. So status and info will bring up some stuff over here on the MFD, really nicely laid out. Oxygen and IPS. Is that the icing stuff? Is that what IPS is? I don't know. Gives you some other information. Density, altitude, and all that stuff. Yeah, the status of your systems. Glad to know that the doors are closed. Our oxygen level is depleting, as you would expect, and the external power is off. That's helpful at flight level 250. What other pages do we have? Back in here, engine and fuel over there. That's nice. We are going to land. We got a fair bit of fuel under our sleeve. We've got the best part of an hour in reserve, so that's all right. Auto tank selection and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, fuel pressure's all good. Electrical power all in the green. That's a good thing to see. Landing gear hopefully is stowed, locked up. That's a good thing. Just really nicely presented. Hey, ice protection. Yeah, IPS must be icing. Is that ice protection system fluid? IPS. Is that a pretty good guess? Yeah, is not on today, and you can run some system tests. I'm almost reluctant to press that. Oh, we did that at the start, pre-flight and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, very nice. If I go back to map view, oh, I get 2 maps. Not quite sure that's what I want. If I want a full, which is this one, actually, that's not too bad. Get me back to that. Between status and info. That's actually alright, because the way I've got my view set up, you see I'm only sort of I'm sort of seeing about half the MFD just because of my zoom level, which is there. That actually works. Only took sort of 60 or 70% of the flight to work that out, but there you go. This is the joy. I find this might be frustrating to watch as a viewer. I understand it. If it is, just press stop, go watch something else. Don't waste your life, folks. But I find this part of flight simulation really enjoyable. Just exploring, clicking things and seeing what happens. Yeah, there's a real pleasure in that. There's a real learning that happens. But anyway, I wouldn't have sort of even thought to have a look at that if it wasn't for the manual. So, am I kind of negating my own point? A little bit. Probably should read the manual, particularly when it's so well done like in this aircraft. Folks, I'll see you for the approach into Esperance. Alright folks, just on approach now into Esperance, down through 2,700. 170 knots indicated. This should be the field down here, I think. That would be about right. A decent old breeze here, a decent northerly, 31 knots is what the PFD is showing me at this time. I was planning a landing sort of towards the northwest. Looks to be the most suitable. Yeah, that's the main drag there. There looks like there might be a cross strip, perhaps. But we're going to land on the main strip, I think. It's a little bit weird with the view. Keeps resetting. It's that FS realistic thing, I think. I do quite like that FS Realistic Pro thing. Got it on sale. But it has a few, I don't know, little quirks about it. Little annoyances, but overall it's alright. Got a view set up out here, there we go. We're kind of on an extended, well, yeah, a wide downwind, I guess you'd call it. Not an extended, just a sloppy downwind. Just the word you're looking for, mate. At through 150 knots we can get first stage of flap out, so we might take that. No significant pitch moment there. Quite a stable aircraft. I was expecting something a little bit twitchier. It's actually not too bad, because once you get the flaps out, she slows down. And there we go. Giving ourselves plenty of room here. Flying a 747 circuit, the first time landing the aeroplane. Probably a little high, yeah. That's okay. Great visibility. That's definitely a strong point of this aeroplane. Great sort of little touring jet, I think, is how I'll use this one. I won't fly it as efficiently as perhaps it should be up in the flight levels. I might fly it in the teen flight levels and perhaps even down lower and just sort of tool around. We'll take gear. No idea what's happening with the speed. And we'll sort of take final flap as well. We are going to be a little bit high. Come down, readjust that view again. Looking for a VREF of about 90, I think. An approach of 100 and a VREF of 90. Need to bring a little bit of power in. We don't want to get any slower than 100. Geez, we're kind of crabbing our way in here, eh? What's happening with the breeze? Oh yeah, significant crosswind here. Going to get a little bit slow as we turn the corner. Oh, this is not a good approach at all. A bit sloppy. Let's see if we can plan it with some level of decorum. We've got a bloody truck on the runway. Look at this crosswind. First landing in a new aeroplane. Oh, look at our power coming off. There we go. Here, can we get it on safely on the centre line somewhere? Oh, a bit firm. Oh, struggling to keep it straight. We're drifting. Yeah, it was a fair old crosswind there for our first landing in a new aeroplane. Thank you, Sim. Well, thank you, real life, isn't it? Real weather and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, probably would have preferred a slightly less challenging scenario for the first landing, especially while I'm making a video, but anyway, not to be. Folks, that's been a first impressions look at the new Cirrus Vision Jet. Impressive bit of kit. Enjoyed the flight. As I said, I think I'll use it kind of as a fast sort of little tourer and exploring the wonderful world that the Microsoft Sim provides to us. I hope wherever you are that you're well, that you're enjoying your simming, folks. And most importantly, I hope your team's winning at the World Cup. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.